Welcome to the Grand Prairie Update. I'm Don Johnson.
And I'm Terry Briggs.
Grand Prairie voters will decide one city council seat, 2 school board trustees, and a school bond package when they go to the polls on May 14th. In City Council District 3, incumbent William Thorne is seeking another 3-year term against Billy R. Nash. 2 other council incumbents are running unopposed. Mark Hepworth in Council District 1, Ruthie Jackson in Council District 7 at large. State law only requires holding an election for contested city council races, so only precincts in District 3 will actually be voting for city council. The school district election features only one contested race. Place 1 trustee Tim Johnson faces Steve Pryor. Place 4 trustee John D. Stewart is unopposed. The school district is also seeking approval for a $70 million bond package to finance building maintenance, equipment, and new school buses. For more information about the May 14th election, go to the city's website at gptx.org or call the city secretary at 972-237-8035.
From the looks of things this weekend, spring cleaning is in full swing in Grand Prairie. At the landfill, residents took advantage of free dumping and shredding to unload their clutter. And downtown, the monthly hazardous household roundup gave homeowners a chance to pitch unwanted and unsafe items.
All right, very good. You got rid of it all. Thank you. All right, take care. Thanks for coming by.
If you missed out this weekend, you can keep track of the next hazmat roundup and other cleanup events by going online or by calling Grand Prairie Environmental Services.
Here we go, boo-boo. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good boy.
Microchip IDs and other pet-friendly services were part of a weekend fundraiser in Grand Prairie. Paws for a Cause collects money to help needy pets.
What that fund is, it's a fund that lets animals get medical attention that they need that otherwise, might not be able to be saved and then put into a good, loving home.
You can get more information about the Animal Welfare Fund by contacting Grand Prairie Animal Services.
If you want an example of how to make green by being green, just take a look at Monotex in Grand Prairie. This local business is the destination for thousands of obsolete computers, monitors, printers, and other electronic devices. Monotex contracts with cities, companies, and other customers to recycle their electronic waste.
First thing it'll go through is kind of a triage sorting process where we will classify the equipment as to whether it's good for remarketing, reuse, or recycling. The time is anywhere from 7 to 12 days for a truckload of equipment that comes in. By the time it makes its way through the sorting process, through the demanufacturing process, and then all the way to its individual end product.
According to Segovia, about 20 to 25% of the material is refurbished and resold. The rest is shredded or pulverized for scrap.
The biggest change I think we can say that we've had is just the size. The scale of the operation has definitely grown over the years. It started out small as we fine-tuned our process, and we created some efficiencies and some better processing methodologies. Really, that's I think the biggest change that we've had. The process itself has grown. More equipment is coming in the door.
Segovia says the Grand Prairie plant has developed into one of the highest volume e-waste processors in the Southwest. That's good for the company's bottom line, and it's good for the local environment because all of this old technology is staying out of the landfill.
This fence is getting to the point where it's going to have to be replaced pretty soon.
In some sense, Grand Prairie's code enforcement officers have been asked to play the role of referee and many times it's an easy call.
This fence is what I would consider to be a dilapidated fence. The fence is leaning. The fence should be upright and not leaning.
Fences and what you need to know, the subject of this edition of Know the Code.
Deteriorated, missing panels, or leaning, those things constitutes a dilapidated fence.
Obviously, the fence on this property needs immediate attention, so the code enforcement officer will inform the owner about options.
Once we observe a dilapidated fence, our first course of action is to give them a notice. If they're present, we normally will give them a hand notice. We normally give them 10 days to do the repairs to the fence. When you go back and you make repairs or replacing a fence, it needs to be done with like material. Like, for instance, the metal poles should be wooden poles.
And actually, there are 3 options when it gets to this point. You can repair it or replace it, but you can also remove it, unless it is what is known as a required fence.
If your home is near a commercial property, it's called a required fence. That means the fence has to be there and maintained. And normally a required fence separating residential property from commercial property, that fence is normally put there by the commercial property owner.
And Reagan says that even when repairing or replacing the fence are the only options, the city is willing to work with you because they're well aware of the cost for repairs or building a new one and the penalties that will come for those who don't.
That penalty is pretty stiff. The price of it is normally set by the courts, and it can be upwards of $200-300 on a citation. And that's why we work with them. I mean, if they're going to say, hey, you know what, Randy, I'll get a fence panel and I'll get this one put up this week and I'll do this one next month, we'll work with you. Times are hard for a lot of people. So we don't mind working with you at all.
If you have questions, you can call the Grand Prairie Code Enforcement Division at 972-237-8296 or log on to the city's website, gptx.org, and follow the links to code enforcement. And now you know the code.
The popular Concerts in the Park series is back and better than ever in a brand new location. On Friday, the event kicked off a new season of sounds at its new location, the Summit at Central Park. The Concerts in the Park continue this Friday at 7 o'clock with Shoot Low Sheriff. For more information, go online at artsgp.com or call 972-237-8100. That's it for this edition of Grand Prairie Update.
Don't forget you can watch all our Channel 16 programs by going online at gptx.org/GPTV.